I know, YouTube little gremlins like me make it look really easy to find products to sell on Amazon, but it's actually not that simple. Now, the reason it can look simple is because to make something look simple, you have to have a very deep understanding of it so that you know what levers to pull and how to explain in terms that everybody can understand. So by extension of this, if you want to make it more simple for you to understand, you need to have a better understanding. Or you can look at it like the less comprehension you have, the harder it is. I even have this technical drawing to show you exactly what I mean. So we've got, in terms of hardness rating, easy at the bottom, hard at the top. And then this one down the bottom is comprehension of how much you understand it. As you understand more, it gets easier, right? That's real facts right there. So when you're struggling with product research, it's not because it is intrinsically hard. It's because you personally don't have an understanding deep enough to make it seem simple. There are a few key things that you need to have a deeper understanding of to make it easy. I want you to imagine that you're on the precipice of a lake, really large lake, and you want to get across to the other side. That's your goal, get to the other side of the lake. You could go around it, you could swim. All of those are quite hard. They take a lot of energy, they take a long time. But in front of you is stepping stones floating out of the water, taking you from one side straight over to the other side of where you want to be. All you have to do to cross the lake is simply step one stepping stone at a time, and you'll safely get across there. However, if you started trying to skip some of those stones, you might think, oh yeah, this is quite good. I'm getting there faster. I'm being able to run. I'm being able to jog. It's all good. But what is the likelihood that you are going to trip, you're going to misstep, and you'll ultimately fall in the water, have to swim around and start again? And you're going to be wet. Think of this like product research or starting any business for that matter. There is a path to get there that is already laid out, but if you skip steps, you're more likely to fall off and get wet. Now, after watching a few videos on YouTube about product research, you might be thinking, cool, I know what to do. High sales, low competition. Let's download Helium 10. Let's go. That's not it. And whilst that makes a fantastic 10-minute YouTube video, it's not everything that you need. If you ain't got time for this right now, in the description, there's a link where you can sign up for some free product research training so you can find products fast. Go check it out. The first stepping stone is, before you even think about trying to cross the lake, is you need to understand what your budget is and make sure that you have a budget to work towards. If you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to do product research, but I don't really know how much money I've got, then this is not going to work. You're not going to be able to find any products, because anything you do find will be too expensive or too cheap, or it's just not feasible for you. So first step, work out your budget. The second thing is you need to actually write down what you're looking for. It's all well and good noodling around in your head. However, you need to write it down so you have a plan of what you're going to be looking for. For example, I'm looking for products between 14 and 20 pounds that sell between 500 and 600 units per month. They have an opportunity to stand out with the hero image. Most of the products on the first page are really badly branded. They're kind of like a combination of weird letters that doesn't really make any sense. There's an opportunity within the product to help it solve the customer's needs a bit more quickly or better or whatever. Have that written down so you know the criteria of what you're actually looking for when you start product research. Third thing, you need to sign up to a tool like Helium 10, link in the description, because as much as you want to save money and you think, well, maybe I'll just look on Amazon first, you need to be able to analyze the data. You need to be able to see what's going on, and you need a tool like that. Step number 4. So we're on step number 4. We haven't even found any products yet. Step number 4 is start searching for products using tools like Helium 10 to just try and find products that meet that initial criteria. My top tip for this is, if you're completely new to this, focus on sales within a certain niche. You can look at all the other criteria later on, but if you can't find a product that makes any money, there's no point looking at it any further, because there's no money to be made in it. All you're going to do at that point is you're going to get a piece of paper, you're going to get a document, and you're going to write down these products that you found that meet your initial criteria. You're not going to go down the rabbit hole and start researching them, super in depth, start getting prices, getting samples. Just write them down and come back to them later. In each of those niches, you're going to look for something called the ladder of opportunity. Think of a ladder, it's got bits you step step on and it goes up. What you're going to see in the search results for the sellers that are making money is that there's a few people at the bottom of the ladder. So these people might be doing, let's say, between 2 and 5K per month in sales. And you're thinking, all right, cool. If I'm at the bottom of the ladder, I'll be making 5K in sales. You're going to have the bulk of the ladder, the majority of the sellers in the mid pack, and they might be doing, let's say, between 5 and 10K in monthly sales. These are purely arbitrary numbers at this point. There's a fly. And then at the top of the ladder, you might have a few sellers that are doing really, really well. They might be getting, instead of the 10K that most sellers are getting, they're going up to like 25, 30K per month in sales. They're the ones at the very top. But you can't go as a new seller to the very top unless you have a really, really good launch strategy and a really incredible marketing plan, which normally requires more resources. For the most people, you're not going to be able to get up to that point straight away. You're going to work up the ladder. You're going to start at the bottom of the ladder and you're going to crawl your way up. Over time, you can work at getting to the top of the ladder, but you need to know that there is the opportunity to climb. Number 7 is you're going to look for an opportunity within the marketing. So I'm particularly thinking about the images of the product with a lot of focus on the hero image, the first image you see. Most customers look at 3 things when they go on Amazon: the image, the price, and they might look at the reviews as well. Everything else is just noise at this point. You don't have a lot of areas to be able to stand out. You might not be able to compete on price too much because you're not ordering enough volumes to be able to get the price down. You won't have the most number of reviews and you won't have the most positive number of reviews, but you could have the best picture. This is an area where you have the actual ability to stand out over and above your competition from day one. So if you see everyone doing the same thing within their hero images, and you think, do you know what? I can do this a little bit differently. If none of them have packaging, if all of them are like white products, if all of them look really tacky and horrible, that means there's opportunity to do it better than them. You want to get a crowbar in that opportunity and shove it wide open. Number 8 is you're going to look for branding opportunities. How many times have you gone to Amazon and you've looked for brands and it's like XRZAP like brand, and it's just some nonsense which doesn't have any trust? Customers buy from companies they know, like, and trust. They don't know you at this point, but how can they trust you if your brand is just utter nonsense? You can build a lot of trust with a customer just through the perception of your brand. The perception of your brand isn't something tangible. It's not something that costs a lot of money. It's just a perception. And you can do that really quite cheaply. It just takes a little bit of thought. So find the opportunity within the branding as well. And then number 9, you're going to look for an opportunity within the product reviews and questions. So we're looking for ways to be able to make the product better, or at least the perception of the product better, or the usability of the product better. Anything where you can see an opportunity within the product offering itself. So you can analyze reviews. I've got videos about this. You can analyze customer questions, and you can even get AI to do that for you. Analyzing thousands of customer reviews is a great way to find out what people like and what people don't like. You can then create your product offer around fixing the problems that people have and making sure that your product or your offer has everything that customers love. After you've done this, you're going to have a short list of products that meet your criteria. They have the ability to scale. They have opportunity to stand out within imaging and marketing. They have an opportunity to stand out within the brand, and they have an opportunity to stand out within the product offer itself. You can then go on to find suppliers and make sure it's a good business opportunity money-wise. But if you don't have these 5 things first, everything else later is pretty pointless. Earlier, we looked at my really cool graph about how to make things easier. Now, all of these topics require a little bit more research and a little bit more thought. So I'm going to give you some resources that are really going to help. First of all, got tons of videos on my YouTube channel, which are free. Go and check them out. Secondly, for the next 6 months, 1 out of every 50 people that comment on this video is going to get something for free. So I'm going to choose someone every time there's 50 comments. I'm going to choose someone to get my SellerPro Academy content 100% free. It's over 150 lessons that's been curated over years, and a ton of clients going through it, setting up their own Amazon businesses and feeding back what works best and what we can improve upon to make what it is today. As soon as we get the first 50 comments, I'll get a random comment picker and we'll pick someone to get that. Hope you found this video valuable, and remember, you're just one product away. Bye.